So we're in Manchester on a slightly grey.
This is a sunny day for Manchester.
Oh well, then it's a beautiful sunny day in Manchester. And we're here at an XR action. I'm just going to sort of slightly pan around and have a look. So we've got like the XR doctors and all sorts of things going on. So my first question is, what's your impression of what's going on at the moment? Why are these people here?
Well, I think what Extinction Rebellion is doing at the minute is a really vital part of social movements, which is outreach, it's dialogue, it's talking to people, it's inviting people to be part of something, to consider something, because otherwise people are sort of feeling, many people know that there's a problem, but actually feeling that you've got some agency, feeling that there's somebody you could do something with. You just have to get out there and talk to people. So I think it's tempting when you're part of Extinction Rebellion or any of these sort of environmental movements to feel like it's really happening when you've gone and I've done this, but you've gone and taken a hammer to a window, broken a window, and then you're on the front page of some journal or whatever. And of course that is part of what we're doing. And it's not really going to achieve anything unless we build from it. And some of that it's hard work, right? It's going. Well, it's hard work. If you find it hard work, you can actually be very joyful talking to people on the street and just asking them what they're thinking, how they're feeling.
And I gather that we've got a People's Assembly happening tomorrow. So could you just sort of summarise what you think a People's Assembly is? What does that mean to you?
So we're wanting, and we feel it's really important in these times, to bring forward more deliberative forms of democracy, which means that people sitting and reflecting, listening to each other, thinking together. And if you do that in a way that's well facilitated, human beings are actually very social creatures, much more likely to listen to each other and be less polarised if we actually sit together and listen to each other. The whole way the media is set up at the minute and social media is to create polarisation and division. So it's a really important thing to come together. And then, as we know, well, I'm guessing people know, certainly I think we don't have a functional democracy. 1 in 8 people think that in the UK. 72% don't think they have any agency. So what we're trying to say is there are other ways of doing democracy that go back to the sort of origins of some forms of democracy in the world. A People's Assembly is anybody who shows up, and there'll be a specific question that's asked for people to reflect on. There'll be some facilitation and support there to help the conversation go well. We're also aiming for a citizens' assembly, so in some ways we're giving people a flavour of what deliberative democracy can feel like. And a citizens' assembly is different. It's when people have been chosen to be on the assembly to represent the demographics of the UK or wherever. And there'd be a specific question, the experts invited to give different perspectives so they can deliberate on it.
Fantastic, thank you. So any final sort of thoughts to anyone listening across the rebellion? Maybe they've been sitting dormant, they've missed out on the action.
I suppose what I'm really thinking is this crisis is going to be here for the rest of our lives. There's a lot in when you're talking about an emergency and you're quoting Sir David King, who says we've got this many years. There's always some number of years left for something. And there are tipping points in the climate system, and some of them are tipping now. Some things are too late already, and we don't know how this is going to unfold exactly, because it's physical and ecological systems meeting social systems that are spread thin. I think another way of thinking about it is what an incredible time to be alive.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this sort of fake offering of neoliberalism from 20 years ago, where you thought you were going to get to sort of have a career and a pension, it was all off somebody else's back, generally in the global south, right? So that's not so much on offer anymore. Well, and some change is definitely going to happen, so we get to be part of the change. So we can sort of feel burdened by these times, stressed by these times. Another way to be with it is to be curious and playful and empathetic and interested. Be together and try and find some joy and fun in it, have some mischief. Otherwise
Absolutely.
if if you feel a bit like that, just go and do something else to find enjoyment, because life wants us to be in connection with life. We are part of life, and you need to protect something that you're feeling a connection to. So
excellent. Well, thank you very much for your time. Yeah, brilliant.
Exactly. So we are. Do you have 2 minutes? It should go along.